Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't really want to do an intro, I just kind of want to get straight into it. It's not a super emotional video, that's not what I'm going for, but I just want to tell you guys why I was in hospital yesterday. Now, there's nothing major, I'm obviously fine, but I'm aware that there was a video that was posted yesterday on the internet of me in the stretcher being put into the ambos from school. So I just want to talk about it and tell you guys what actually happened, because I know a lot of people, even some of my classmates, were told something, but that isn't why I went to the hospital. So I just want to tell you, I was in my first and second period of school on Thursday, what was it? Like Thursday the 20th, 21st, something like that, of February, so like yesterday, but you're probably not watching it then. But anyway, I was doing team triathlon, which is basically like bike, swim, run, and I had my partner and we had to do it bike, swim, run, and I really didn't want to go in the pool. So I said to my partner, look, if you want to do both swims, I'll do both runs and we'll both do a bike. So he was happy with that. So he did the first bike, the swim, and then I did the run. And then I came back and did my bike, he did my swim, and then on the last run, I was running and I started to feel really heavy in my breath and like I couldn't really breathe. So I sat down, I stopped, and I was starting to like panic and get like anxiety a little bit, because it's like I really can't breathe and I'm trying my best and I can't, which is a really horrible feeling. So then I went to another bench and I just sat there and I was really struggling, and then someone was like, is that Xavier Gowie over there? And then another kid was like, is he okay? And the teacher turned around and she was like, are you okay? And I just went, no, I'm not. So she came over to me, she asked me what was wrong, she got the asthma pump really quickly. She was really good about it, actually. She got the asthma pump, I had that in my system. I was getting really nervous though, because like I couldn't breathe at all. But then as the asthma pump was going into me, I started feeling pins and needles all through my hands, so like from here upwards, all through my hands, and into my legs and feet. So my legs and feet and my hands, they had pins and needles, and then I just couldn't feel them. I couldn't feel them at all. So, like, even one of my fingers was, I can't even do it now, it was in a really weird position, it was stuck. I could not move it. My legs, I couldn't feel it at all, like, no feeling whatsoever. So, once I'd realised that I had no feeling, and I couldn't walk or anything, I started to panic even more. I started going into an anxiety attack. I was, like, really anxiety-filled, because I didn't know what was happening. Like, can I walk again? Like, why can't I walk? Why can't I feel anything? So they wanted to walk me inside because I was outside and it was freezing. I was freezing. So they tried to help me walk. I couldn't move it. So they grabbed a wheelchair. They put me in it. Being in a wheelchair was like, it's really surreal, actually. Like, being in a wheelchair, it's like, what is happening right now? You know what I mean? I was just like, what's going on? So they took me inside on the wheelchair, and then the nurse was there, and she was trying to make me feel things. She was like, clench my hands. And I was like, she was like, close your eyes and clench my hands. I closed them, and I was clenching, and I thought I was really trying. She's like, clench, and I'm like, I'm trying, and she was kind of getting a little bit annoyed with me. She was like, clench. And I was like, I can't. I kind of like snapped at her a little bit. I was like, I'm trying. I can't. Because I was just like really anxiety filled about it. I didn't know what was going on. Like, no one was telling me anything. So anyways, then we were trying with my legs. So she tried with my hand first. She had really long nails. She was digging her nails into my hands. like really hard, like very, very, very hard, to the point where like I saw a mark in my hand, but I didn't feel it. She's like, do you feel it? And I was like, I can't feel anything. So she got out her car key and she stuck it into my foot. Like, not stabbed, but like she was like pressing it down, trying to make a mark. And she was pressing it harder, harder, harder. I couldn't feel it at all. She's like, can you feel that? And I'm like, I cannot feel it. I can't. So like she was pressing it harder and harder. I couldn't feel it. I saw the mark on my foot and I was inclined to be like, ow. But I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel it at all. Nothing. No feeling. So yeah, that was pretty scary. So then they didn't know what to do. They called my mum. My mum came rushing. She literally got in the car. She was at work. And she got in the car. I saw her running down the car lot. Like, when I mean, like, there's a big driveway at my school. And I looked at my mum. They're like, when's your mum getting here? And I'm like, she's over there. Like, is that her? And she was sprinting down the driveway. And I could see the look on her face. She was so scared. Like, she was really frightened because what she heard on the phone was that I couldn't walk. And that I couldn't feel anything. So she came really quickly, and I felt very, very bad. It was February 20 because it was my mum's birthday yesterday, and it was her birthday, and that's what she was doing on her birthday, taking care of me. So when they say parenting's a full-time job, it really, really is. But yeah, came sprinting. She asked me like what was going on. She was asking everyone what was going on. And, like, that no one was telling me anything, and I was getting, like, really worked up about it. My classmates, I didn't know, but my classmates, a teacher went in and told them that I had an asthma attack. Which, to an extent, I did, but that wasn't the reason why I went to hospital. I want to make that very clear. I wasn't in hospital because I had an asthma attack. That wasn't the reason that I was there. The reason was because of my legs, because I started to get feeling back in my fingers, and then to the point where I could move my hands and fingers like usual. But my legs were still nothing. I started to feel my kneecaps, and I could move them like a little bit, like, you know, like you do that tensing thing with your knees. I could do that, but that was it. So, yeah, no one really knew what to do. I'm very sensitive to touch. Like, if you asked my mum, she was saying that the whole time, he's very sensitive to touch, so I don't know why this isn't working. So whenever she tickles me, I'm very ticklish. I'm a very ticklish person. So she has her long nails, and whenever she strokes my leg really slowly with her long nails, I jump. I start laughing, like I jump. But she did that on my leg, and she tried it, and I just could not do anything. I couldn't feel it at all. I was like, Mum, I can't feel it. And I feel like that's when she knew something was really, really wrong. She was like, that's when my mum started to panic, because I always jump. When she does that, it's a constant. I always do it. So they made the joint decision to call the ambulance over, and then they came in, and they were really cool about it, actually. They were trying to calm me, like, they weren't waking me up or anything, which was really, really cool. Because it is scary. Like, an ambulance isn't called to your school every day, you know what I mean? There's not an ambulance car at your school all the time. So to have that come, especially for me, was really, really huge, and I wasn't really sure what was happening. So, yeah, it was really, really scary. They came, they tried a bunch of things, they really did their best. She even, like, she was putting a pen in me to see, and, like, this thing that really hurts. I couldn't feel it, but I could feel it on my big toes. On both my big toes, I could feel it. She was doing it there, and I was like, ow, that really, really hurt, stop. But nowhere else. So that was really scary. So the school, my mum, and the Ambos made a joint decision that they would take me to the hospital. So I was put in a stretcher, which is the video that went around. I can't seem to find the video. It was sent to me, but only on temporary stories, so I don't have it with me. But I was clipped up into the bed. They had to lift me into the stretcher because I couldn't do it myself. they put me into it, they clipped me in, blanket on, because I was freezing, and they put me in the ambulance cart and they were going to take me to the Royal Children's, to hospital. So they were taking me there, and I started getting a little more feeling in my legs, which was really, really huge, because I didn't know what was happening, and I was getting really scared because I know it's like an insane inclusion to jump to, but I didn't know if I would walk again, because I never had anything like this happen before in my entire life. So I was like, is this the part where I don't get to walk again? Like, I feel like you take for granted, like, walking, or, like, using your hands and arms. But, like, I was seriously contemplating, am I never going to be able to walk again? Am I never going to be able to go up on a stage and perform? Like, am I never going to be able to dance again? Like, am I never going to be able to, like, play sport, do normal things? Am I never going to be able to do those things? Like, it really, really worried me. So, it basically, in the car, it was about I didn't actually know, because this happened, like, I'll say 10 in the morning. We got to the hospital at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, it was a long time, and I hadn't had feeling in my legs for hours, but I didn't know the time was passing by. So, hours went by, and I didn't have feeling at all. So, yeah, it was scary. Really scary, actually. But in the Ambo's car, because it was a long car ride, I was getting more feeling back in my legs, to the point where when we got there, I could walk. I needed assistance. So one of the Ambos was holding me, my mum was holding me, and I was walking. They checked me, they looked at me, and by the time that I got in to be checked, I was basically back to normal. I felt very, very weak, in the sense that I was very tired, and like, because I hadn't moved my legs for a while, everything was cracking. And if any of you know me personally, you'll know that one of my pet peeves is when people crack their knuckles or necks or legs, anything. When they crack anything, I hate the noise, and it just gives me this uneasy feeling. So when I was walking, my legs just were constantly cracking, and I wanted to vomit. Like, I was like, my own legs are cracking, what is happening? But it was because I hadn't moved them for a really, really long time that was happening. So yeah, basically after that, they said I was all good to go. They advised that I didn't play sport for like a couple days, which was fine. Don't get like too physical, because I am quite sensitive at the moment with my legs, because like I didn't move them for a long time. I felt like that was like really weird. But yeah, I will say that today at school, because it was Thursday, yesterday is Friday, today, I was very, very tired. I was quite delirious to everything. I'm kind of coming down from cloud 9 now, and I'm getting even more tired. But I did want to film this because I wanted to tell you guys what was going on, because I didn't want to leave you in the dark, because seeing that video, I wasn't going to make a video on this because it would have just been my school that knew, but seeing that video, it can imply anything's happened, and that video, from what I was told, wasn't posted with any caption. It was just a video of me in a stretcher going to the ambulance. So that could have meant anything. I could have like had like a heart attack, or I could have, you know, like had an anaphylactic attack, or I could have just had an asthma attack. Or like bump my toe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't judge what was happening in that. So I felt like I had to do this because I don't want you guys not to know what actually happened and why I went to the ambos. So to clear everything up, I did not go to the hospital because I had an asthma attack. I know that some of you at my school were told that. That's not the case. I went there because my legs simply were not functioning and weren't working. And we didn't know what was happening. So just to tell you, I wasn't diagnosed with anything. I'm completely fine and normal. They put it down to my respiratory system because I was losing a lot of oxygen and I was breathing very, very fast. it kind of like froze the bones in my body, like certain places, and they just stopped and they couldn't really function because there wasn't enough oxygen going to them. The woman gave us a name for what it was, but I can't remember. But these aren't the normal videos that I do on this channel, so I was about to say, like, if you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, but this really isn't what I usually do, so give it a thumbs up if you, I don't know, were informed and happy that you know. Subscribe. I promise you this isn't the stuff that I do all the time. I only do it when it's really urgent. Comment what you want to know about me or videos that you want to see on my channel. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.